We would again invite Dr. Ghanti Murthy to, just very briefly, tell us the way forward on institutionalizing IKS from AICTE. And after that, we would conclude the session.
So again, summarizing what we had been discussing since morning, we are again looking forward. So I would like to say a few things that IKS division of MOE at AICTE is trying to do. So the way forward, so we'll have a much longer discussion later during one of the online sessions, but then I would like to present to you briefly some of these things. So in fact, I'm very happy and glad that some of the things that we were thinking were some things that our expert panel has also expressed. And a lot of it is also, I think, may not be a coincidence because we have been talking to a lot of experts around the country before we said, okay, what should be the action plan? So IKS division, as you know, is a year-old division at AICTE. And me and Dr. Anuradha Chaudhary ji, we just joined in October to bring again, strengthen the division and all that. So one of the things that we are planning, the activities that we are planning as a IKS division team is we want to strengthen institutionally the IKS systems. So one of the things is we want to build the capacity. As we said, we are right now in the preserving mode, and how do we bring it to the activity mode? So for that, it is necessary to build institutional capacity. So for that, we are trying to basically set up centers, IKS centers around the country. So our goal is to have something around 76 centers in the next 3 years, which will not only be focusing around, will not trying to set up only in some of these regular universities and colleges like engineering and science-based ones, but also in the traditional colleges, because they also need to, centers of learning, because they also need to bring this IKS and they need to understand how these things are done. And the second thing that we were going to do is, as we strongly believe that it is really we need to train our younger generation on this. And the best way to do that is expose them to like maybe a 2-3 month program. So we want to have internship programs. We'll be doing that very soon, announcing that very soon, for about 1,000 interns who will be working with different experts around the country. And we are going to identify those experts not by simply just by looking at lists. We will actually go. This is a promise that we are making. The IKS division people will go personally around the country. We will meet people physically, have day-to-day and have workshops with them, discuss what is being done, who are the experts, what are they doing, what needs to be done, collate all that information, and then we will assign these 1,000 interns to work with them, so that we train our next generation in a big way. Of course, the third one is we need to promote that research culture. And so we would be calling for proposals and all that. But another thing that we noticed is that when you talk about the traditional centers of learning, let's say you are talking about Kashi or Ujjain or Kanchi or Sringeri, a lot of those places are not connected with the research proposal writing and this ecosystem that is there. So let's say even if DST announces, okay, we are going to give 30 crores to fund IKS proposals, not many from these places participate. So again, we want to go to these places and conduct workshops where we bring in both joint teams. We want to have these joint teams which will have a traditional scholar and a scholar trained in the modern sciences and all that. Jointly, they will propose something that enhances both the IKS, so essentially takes it beyond what is already there, and also brings in some of the methods from the modern scientific thing. So whenever we talk about science, something is scientific, we confuse, we need to be distinguishing between the scientific method and the scientific principles. Scientific method, as Professor Mahapatra was saying, like the CAT scan or MRI, these are scientific methods, techniques. These can be used whether you are talking about IKS or not. These are pretty much uniform anywhere. That's technology driven. But if you think about scientific principles, that is where the culture-based thing comes in. For example, if you look at a piece of apple, a allopathy, modern science will look at it as proteins, carbohydrates and all that. But if I look at it from an Ayurveda perspective, it will be what is the composition of this from a Tridosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, those things. What will be the impact on me and things like that. So whenever I look at a body, it will be looking at as heart system, like circulatory system, all those things from the allopathy. Whereas Ayurveda will look at it as Tridoshas. What is the balance in the So it's a very different way of looking. But that is where the IKS can contribute in a different way. So that is why we want to bring both the traditional scholars and the modern scientists to bring that interdisciplinary research that typically will not be funded by Ayush or somebody else, for example. This will be something that nobody else funds. We want to fund those. Because if something is to be validated in Ayurveda, they can go to Ayush and get funding. But we are not truly interested in that. We are interested in bringing that and making this whole IKS much more, bringing that life into that thing and making it flow again, that IKS Ganga. And then another program is, we see that in whenever we talk about IKS, this is unlike the traditional, the sciences and all those streams. There are a lot of scholars who are extremely well qualified. As Sonal Mansingh ji was talking to today, she said, I did not get any gold medals, I did not get any certificates, I don't have anything. But who is a better expert than her in Nati Shastra? She's a living example of things that are there in IKS. So we want to approach such people who are working in these things and then have a program what we are calling as IKS ambassadors. So this way we'll be able to give them a platform that they can be recognized and basically, and then there are so many experts. There were some calls that we received at IKS division. Somebody was not able to, Dr. M. Raja from Tiruchi, he was not able to access the library for manuscripts, which is a very sad thing. And if you think about it, he's a doctor, retired doctor, he doesn't have any qualification in that sense with a degree, but he has over a decade of experience deciphering the epigraphs and those Shilasasanas on the temples. How do we help those kind of people? So this is how we are trying to bring in that IKS ambassador programs. So these are few of the programs that we are thinking of. But again, at IKS division, this is something that we are doing for the first time. And even we look at it, ministry, they are doing this kind of things for the first time. I mean, this kind of massive approach. So we would like to, we are very open, and what we would like to humbly request you all is, if you have any inputs as to what we can do to tweak these programs, to make it better, much more effective. Because our end goal, as we all know, is the same thing. We want to bring in IKS into our educational system and then bring back that into the modern education and see how that can basically, ultimately it is for our national strength, and we want to see a Bharata that becomes Vishwaguru. That is the whole purpose. So how do we do that? If you can all please give us your suggestions, we'll be very open to that and we'll be eagerly waiting for those suggestions. With those words, I would like to close my words and thank you so much.